What up guys, it's your boy Jason X4, and today we don't have an idea of what to do. So I decided to ask Twitter, hey, what should I do? What kind of suggestions do you guys have for me? And one idea looks pretty interesting by the homegirl Liz. She was talking about, she basically said how anime changed my perspective on things about real life, and I really think that's a good idea. So go ahead, follow the homegirl Liz, because she bombing with this one. So yeah, I really wouldn't say that anime changed my perspective on a lot of things. I mean, don't get me wrong, there has been a lot of things that has changed my mind about, like a lot of things that has changed my mind in anime about how I view the world now. Like the biggest thing that probably has changed my mind about how I see the world now has to be Persona 5, obviously. And honestly, I was not expecting to find some answers like this out of Persona 5. I was just thinking, oh, it's just gonna be a Persona game. Let's just get this done with and see why everybody keep talking about this. Because I did not buy it like when it was first announced. Like, let me give you a quick journey of Persona 5 for me. So basically, one day I walked in GameStop, was like, what game should I go get? My brother would not let me go buy a game that I have played before, because I was just gonna get Saints Row. But so I had to look it for another game. I found Persona 4 Arena. I played it. It was something amazing that I never seen before, and I really just enjoyed it a heck of a lot of time. So I was used to the old characters in Persona 4. So when Persona 5 happened, I did not know who Joker was. I did not know who An was. I did not care for these characters. I thought they was trash. So I just said, discard these characters to the Shadow Realm, never to see them again. Then late 2019, I ended up playing Persona 5 because it was cheap, and that was the greatest game I've ever played. I have never seen such a game to take concepts about things that happens in the real world and actually make it into something beautiful. And to be honest, I feel Persona 5. It feels like it's talking about things that really happen in real life. Especially, and it makes sense that I would learn something from this. If I feel like I learned more about the world through different media than I could through in actual school. And that's kind of weird to me. But the thing is, it's kind of true. Like, because Persona 5 was actually hitting on a harder level than I ever expected. For instance, when we talk about how Shiho was basically committing suicide just because she couldn't take it anymore, which is sadly true, that does happen to people because they can't take it anymore, and honestly you don't know what they're going through, and people just, and then sometimes like An did, people brush it off like it's nothing, even though they know something is up. They refuse to say anything about it because, well, because that's just how it is. And honestly, more people should stand up to things like that, which is exactly what they did in the game. Now obviously in the real world we don't have phantom thieves, we don't have cognition to change people's hearts and all, but we can try to do our best to stand up to the injustice using the methods that legally we can use. But it really just shows you how messed up things can get for people, and if you don't really take in consideration what's going on with another person, then you end up losing that person, or you could end up being an entirely worse situation just to save somebody else's trouble. There are plenty of times where in this game there's like a lot of trouble that goes through each character's minds and life, and it really messes each character up one by one. Another good example that I feel like would be pretty current now would be Okumura's mishandling of workers when it comes to unsafe labor and throwing away employees like they're trash once they're pretty much done with what they can do. And we see that in the real world right now. I mean, recently GameStop did the same thing with their employees, talking about working through the virus, and that's really an unsafe working environment. Potentially one of your people in your stores could die, so it's not like you're kind of tripping right now. And honestly, we need more people to actually stand up to the injustice, which I'm glad that people that aren't taking GameStop's crap leaving their job, because that's not how it works. And honestly, applaud to those people. I feel like Persona 5 was also trying to teach us about a little bit about how Japan works a little bit, because I feel like in Japan there's not really that many there's not like many protests to like change the way things are in some cases, because like if you notice, like sometimes when you work a job in Japan, like if you finish your job early, they would normally be like trying to stay behind and help and try to like do more work, even though they don't really get paid for it, and they just doing it just so they don't look like they're lazy or whatever. Like in America, that don't work like that. When we get done with our job, we done, because we ain't getting paid for this. If you want us to stay and give us some overtime and get some extra paper on the side, then sure, we'll help out. But if you ain't gonna help us, if you ain't gonna help us, we ain't gonna help you. I think that's how it is. Yeah, but getting back to the point, I believe your question was which anime that helped me, not which game. So the following anime has helped me in these different ways. So first off, Code Geass has taught me that a lot of things for humanity needs to get worse if we're gonna get better, which is a sad statement because there's a lot of things that's going on in humanity, honestly. And half of the things that we're suffering from is really nothing. It can easily be solved, yet we don't want to do that. My Hero Academia taught me how to rely on my inner strength rather than anybody else's, because honestly, a lot of things that you're gonna have to go through is gonna be from your like inner turmoil and all that, and the only person that's gonna save you is yourself. So in reality, you have no other option but to fight for yourself. And if you don't, then there's nothing nobody can do for you. There's nothing you can do for you. Obviously, Naruto teaches you how to not give up. And in Madaka Box's case, I would say that there is always a place for you to belong. You just have to find it. And like just like in the story, it doesn't matter what type of abilities you have, where you came from, you will always have that place to belong if you know how to search it right. I could keep going on and on. There's like a lot of anime that actually has taught me something, and a lot that's not real on my mind right now, but I think we'll end that here. There's a lot of things about this world that I do not like, and honestly, I pretty much hate it. And to be honest, we can fix that if we all just band it together and actually change the world one step at a time. But sadly, I don't think we're gonna get that in this lifetime. But if we ever were to get it, that'd be amazing, and we actually will be an amazing race of human beings for once in our lives. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I think I can go over with this one. If you like what I said, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Also hit the bell notification on your way out. And until next time, this is your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.